What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of BKNY Hoops. If you are new to the channel, I'm your host, as always, Rasheed White. All right, let's get into it. You guys see the graphics. You actually see the title. I was totally wrong about Noah Clowney. Now, initially, this video was supposed to be about how Noah Clowney and the reasons why he will not probably get a second NBA contract. There's a really high probability of that, right? And it's not a surprise because we've seen it happen with so many players, you know, in the history of the actual NBA. But this video over here, man, we're gonna do a reaction from what's this guy's name here? Let me see something. It's called WeChamp, and he's telling me how Noah Clowney is actually the missing championship piece to the Brooklyn Nets really kind of like really winning the championship. And boy, was I actually wrong over here, man. So let's see. Let's look at this.
We're quietly building something special. But here's the crazy part. Most NBA fans still don't know who he is, even though he's already showing signs of becoming the exact type of player that wins championships in today's NBA. This is the story of how Brooklyn found their hidden gem.
My first goal is to guard. I don't like when people score if I'm on the floor, and I feel like I could have helped it. So yeah, that was my first mindset. And then offensively, you know, just playing confident, free, not being nervous or scared. Yeah.
Picture this. June 22nd, 2023. Barclays Center is buzzing with excitement. The NBA draft is underway, and everyone's talking about Victor Wembanyama going first to San Antonio, then Brandon Miller to Charlotte, Scoot Henderson to Portland, all the big names, all the headlines, all the hype. But as the night went on and picks kept flying off the board, there was one name that nobody was really talking about. A 6'10 forward from Alabama who had just helped lead the Crimson Tide to the Sweet 16. Noah Clowney was sitting in that green room watching as pick after pick went by. Lottery, no. Top 15, not happening. Top 20, still waiting.
All right, so we know there's a reason why pick after pick after pick kept going by. Listen, for now, I mean, the video is really kind of well put together. You know, so far I like it so far, man. Let's listen in more.
And while analysts were busy debating whether the Nets should take someone with more college experience or go for upside, Brooklyn's front office had already made their decision.
With the 21st pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Noah Clowney from the University of Alabama.
But here's what's wild about that moment. While Clowney was walking across that stage, NBA Twitter was already moving on to the next pick. Draft analysts were talking about how the Nets reached for a project player. Even some Brooklyn fans on social media were confused, asking, who is this guy? But Sean Marks, the Nets general manager, wasn't worried about the noise, because while everyone else was looking at what Clowney couldn't do yet, the Nets were focused on something completely different. They saw a 19-year-old who had the exact physical tools that every team in the modern NBA is desperately searching for. You see, most teams that night were drafting for immediate impact. They wanted players who could step in and contribute right away. But Brooklyn, they were playing a completely different game. They weren't just drafting a bar.
Well, normally at 19, that's what you're really probably getting is project players. I don't think the Nets were really in a position to even like to get an immediate impact player. Now, let's run this back now. Let's say if the Nets did have the number 1 or the 2 or the 3 pick about 3 years ago when Victor Wembanyama come out, you're telling me that they're going to turn down Victor Wembanyama for Noah Clowney?
Basketball player. They were drafting the future of their franchise, even if nobody else could see it yet. When scouts first laid eyes on Noah Clowney, the first thing they noticed wasn't his stats or his college highlights, it was how he moved. Here's a guy who stands 6'10 with a ridiculous 7'3 wingspan, but watch him on the court and you'd think you were looking at a guard. Elite mobility for a big man doesn't even begin to describe it. This dude can...
And this is the problem with Noah Clowney. Yes, he's more like a guard, right? I mean, he's 6'10", 210 pounds. He's an oversized guard, but no guard skills. Now, let's say if he was playing against me, all right, he'll bust my ass. He'll show those guard skills against me. But when you're talking about going up at the highest levels in the NBA, no, he's not up there, man.
switch onto point guards on defense, then sprint down the court and finish above the rim on the other end, all in the same possession. But it's not just about being tall and athletic. Every year the draft is full of big men who look impressive in shorts and sneakers but can't actually play basketball. Clowney is different. His movement patterns, his footwork, his ability to change direction is like watching a guard who just happens to be nearly 7 feet tall. One NBA scout told reporters that Clowney is a guard trapped in a big man's body, and after watching him play, you can see exactly what he means. Think about what the modern NBA...
I've seen him on a couple of possessions. I'm just trying to be real and pragmatic. He put the ball on the floor, and he just couldn't read defenses. I mean, the defenses collapsed on him, and he turned the ball over a couple of times. I don't know what they're saying. I think that's just all cap right there.
NBA demands from big men. You need to be able to protect the rim, sure, but you also need to switch on defense. You need to guard everyone from Damian Lillard to Giannis Antetokounmpo in the same game. On offense, you can't just camp out in the paint anymore. You need to be able to handle the ball, make plays for teammates, and stretch the floor with your shooting. Most players have maybe 2 or 3 of these skills. Clowney has all of them, and he's still just 20 years old.
No, he does not. What are you talking about, bro? Like, he doesn't have any of that. He's pretty, and listen, if he had that, he would be playing. I mean, he would have got more minutes. We would see a larger sample size of him.
Wingspan is absolutely ridiculous. At 7 feet 3 inches, he can contest shots without even jumping, but unlike a lot of big men with crazy length, he actually knows how to use it. Watch him on defense and you'll see him disrupt passing lanes that most players can't even reach. He's already showing the ability to guard multiple positions, which is basically a requirement for any...
Multiple? How are you going to guard the 5s and the 4s, or even some of the 3s, if he's not strong enough? Listen, he can't win bumps. When guys drive the lane, I mean, they can easily bump him off and just finish really easily, right? I mean, now a lot of the lower tier guards that he can actually really disrupt, but like the Anthony Edwards, the Donovan Mitchells, the Cade Cunninghams, the Jalen Brunsons. I mean, he's not really doing anything against those type of guys. Maybe the TJ McConnells or like Austin Reeves, some of the lower tier guards, but not like the high level guards, like your top 5 or 6. Jaylen Brown is a shooting guard / small forward, and you know, Jaylen Brown would just like abuse him, man. He's 226 pounds. Noah Clowney's 210. So you have to be able to actually guard like the high tier guards, man, to justify him actually being on the floor. And he only shoots, coming out of college, was 27.5%. So even coming into the NBA, I mean, he was a horrible 3-point shooter.
Any big man who wants to play meaningful minutes in today's NBA, and here's the kicker, he's still growing into his body. This isn't a player who's maxed out physically. The Nets training staff believes he can add another 15 to 20 pounds of muscle without losing any of that elite mobility. Imagine that same movement skills in a 240-pound frame instead of...
So even at 240 pounds, if you actually watch the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors playoff series, right? Şengün is 240 pounds. And you saw how he was actually struggling against Draymond Green. Like, to be a center, you need to be 260 pounds to me, minimum. Like 260, 265, maybe like 255, 260. Because like guys like Draymond Green, you know, he's not going to just be able to push Draymond Green or like any type of 235, 240 pound guys out there, man. You need to have more skill if you're going to be able to score on those guys, like really be a good 3-point shooter.
Of his current 220. That's terrifying for every other team in the league. Now you might be thinking, okay, so he's got the tools, but can he actually play? Fair question. Let me show you why Nets fans are already getting excited about what they're seeing from their rookie. During his limited minutes with Brooklyn this season, Clowney has shown flashes that have coaches and front office executives taking notice. In just 12 minutes.
Yeah, I notice how he just couldn't. Again, this is what I talk about winning the bumps right here, man. This is where he needs to really put on a lot of muscle. Let me see this again.
Minutes with Brooklyn this season, Clowney has shown flashes that have coaches and front.
So you gotta be able to finish that right there, man, or even dunk it. He's too small.
Office executives taking notice. In just 12 minutes per game, he's averaging 2.1 blocks per 36 minutes. That might not sound crazy until you realise he's doing it while switching onto guards and forwards. This isn't just camping in the paint and swatting shots. This is elite defensive awareness and timing. But the real proof came during his stint with the Long Island Nets in the G League. Down there, with more playing time and freedom to make mistakes, Clowney started showing exactly why Brooklyn was so confident in drafting him.
Hold on, man. We seen Killian Hayes, right, dominate in the G League, and then come into the NBA and average like 4, 5, 6 something points per game. G League and the actual NBA is two totally different leagues, man. Difference between the leagues, right, is guys in the NBA level are longer and the guards are a lot faster, man, in terms of being able to, like, you know, like same in terms of like their hands, right? Their hands, they got lightning fast hands for, you know, in terms of the guards, and he has to get the reps in really to be able to kind of get used to that.
One game against the College Park Skyhawks, he recorded 18 points, 12 rebounds and 4 blocks while shooting 3 of 5 from 3-point range. 3-point range. Remember, this is a 6'10 centre who can step out and knock down shots from 25 feet away. The defensive stats are even more impressive. His steal rate of 2.3% in the G League ranks in the top 10 among all big men. Which
see how, see how Noah Clowney easily gets pushed over here, man? Right?
Away. The defensive stats are even more impressive. His steal rate of 2.3% in the G League ranks in the top.
Yeah, man, you gotta, right there, you have to put more resistance there, man. You can't just get pushed like that. I don't know if he was trying to flop or anything like that, but Sabonis, I think that's Domantas Sabonis. He weighs about 245, and this is what I'm talking about. And let's say if there was no help right here, I mean, that's an easy bucket right there. We don't want to give up easy buckets. We want to try to make it as tough as possible.
Top 10 among all big men, which shows you his hands and anticipation. But it's the little things that really stand out. The way he hedges on pick and rolls, forcing guards into tough shots. The way he rotates to help teammates and then gets back to his own man. The hustle plays where he's diving on the floor for loose balls, even in meaningless December games. Nets fans have started calling these moments future star flashes. And honestly, that's the perfect way to describe them. Like the game against the Miami Heat, where he came off the bench and immediately forced 2 turnovers with his length and activity. Or the possession.
All right, again, this is what I'm talking about winning the bump right here.
Moments, future star flashes, and honestly, that's the perfect way to describe them. Like the game against the Miami Heat, where he came off the bench and immediately forced 2.
Exactly, he can't win the bump, right? Whoever this defender is, he wins the bump. Noah Clowney can't win the bump because he's not strong enough, and this is exactly what is going to happen, man. And then his shoulders is going away from the basket rather than going towards the basket. But you know, we'll see. Maybe in a couple of years, that he got drafted, was it like 2 or 3 years ago, and he's still at 210 pounds. I don't know.
2 turnovers with his length and activity. Or the possession against the Milwaukee Bucks, where he switched onto Giannis, forced him into a tough fadeaway, grabbed the rebound and pushed the ball up the court himself for an assist. These aren't accident plays. This is a player who understands the game at a level that most rookies don't reach until their 2nd or 3rd season, and he's doing it consistently, which tells you this isn't just beginner's luck. So if Clowney is showing all these signs of being a future star, why isn't anyone talking about him? Simple. He's playing for a rebuilding Brooklyn Nets team that's been flying completely under the radar this season.
And exactly why his numbers should actually be better than what they are. I don't want to hear that. Now, if he was playing for a championship team, like a team winning for a championship, going for a championship, then you would understand like the limitations and him not being able to like see the floor, and for him to actually really showcase himself. But I mean, for a rebuilding team, I mean, you should be putting up a lot of good numbers, at least 14, 15 something points per game and 8 to 9 rebounds, at least. on a rebuilding team.
While other lottery picks are getting highlight reels on ESPN and trending on social media, Clowney is quietly developing behind the scenes. The Nets have been focused on getting minutes for players like Michael Bridges, who they're hoping to build around, and Cam Thomas, who's putting up scoring numbers that get attention. Meanwhile, Clowney is getting 12 minutes per game.
They said Michael Bridges, and he did this video 6 days ago. I mean, this is when this video was actually published 6 days ago. So why is he throwing Michael Bridges in here, man? Man, I don't know, man. I don't know what's wrong with sports media today, man.
And learning from veteran players without any pressure to be the immediate savior of the franchise, this is actually perfect for his development.
But you're saying he's a future star and a future... What are you talking about over here, man? This dude is like all over the place.
Instead of being thrown into the fire like some lottery picks, he gets to learn the NBA game at his own pace. He can make mistakes without them ending up on every sports blog. He can work on his weaknesses in practice without every reporter asking him about them after games. But here's what's interesting. Talk to anyone inside the Nets organization and they'll tell you a completely different story than what you're seeing in the media. Assistant coaches rave about his work ethic. Veterans on the team have mentioned how quickly he picks up defensive schemes. One team insider told reporters that the coaching staff is extremely confident in.
So why is he not getting minutes then? That's the thing I don't understand. Right, you could say all this stuff, right? That seems nice, but I mean, action speaks a whole lot louder than words.
Clowney's progression, and they believe he's ahead of schedule in terms of his development. The quiet development is intentional.
That's a lie.
From watching other teams rush young players into roles they weren't ready for. Instead of throwing...
Wait a minute, he's not ready to be a center. He's 210 pounds, right? You're throwing him in there, and he's going to get abused, and it's hurting the Nets, right, when he's actually on the floor. I mean, in order to really put Noah Clowney on the floor at that weight, I mean, he needs to be like 41% from three, right? Because like in single coverage situations against like other power forwards and centers, I mean, he's going to be giving up easy baskets, easy 2-pointers. So to throw off that, you will put, if he could shoot 41%, you could justify him being in there. But, like, at 210 pounds, he's not a power forward. He's not a center. He's not a small forward. He doesn't have the small forward skills. In order to be a good small forward, you have to have, like, good ball handling skills, good shooting skills, good passing skills. We haven't seen that in Noah Clowney at all.
Clowney into 25 minutes per game and hoping for the best. They're building his confidence and skills gradually. It's the same approach that teams like San Antonio used with players like Kawhi Leonard earlier.
Oh my gosh, man. Come on, God. Come on, dude. Seriously. Stop. I really can't finish this video here, man. Let's go into his scouting report real quick. Hold on. Let me get this up. All right. So you can see in his scouting report over here, it's basically highlighting everything I've been saying. His frame needs to fill out some. He may struggle with the physicality of some NBA centers. A face-up front court guy, but doesn't show much ball handling or creating offense. Haven't seen him show much as a post scorer either. Won't have many plays drawn up for him. Shot looks solid fundamentally, but the efficiency is still improving as of now. 28% on 28.3 on 3-point shooting and 3.3 attempts. Doesn't pass the ball much. That's another thing. You got to pass the ball, man. Draw fouls at an okay rate, but again, at him playing at the power forward or center position, he's not going to be able to draw fouls, man. I mean, he's not going to be able to move guys or try to get them off balance or anything like that. So I don't know if he makes it to a second contract or not, man. I'd say there's a 90 to 95% probability that he doesn't really make it for a second NBA contract, because you got Danny Wolf in there, and Danny Wolf looks more promising, right? You see what he actually did in college versus what Noah Clowney did. Better 3-point shooting percentage, better ball handling, better passing, and we'll see if that kind of translate into the in the NBA level, right? And you look at the NBA comps of Noah Clowney, it is a Theo Ratliff comparison. But look at Theo Ratliff. He was like 250 something pounds, right? He was like a legit NBA center. You know, you can't just move like Theo Ratliff out of the way like that. You know, with Noah Clowney, you know, a lot of the top guards and wings and power forwards and centers can actually really do that. So, we'll see when it comes to Noah Clowney, man. Time tells everything. If like I said, if I had like $20 to bet on it, I'd say he doesn't make it to a second NBA contract. He's a guy that's going to be, you know, maybe in the G League somewhere, or maybe China or overseas though. But I mean, it's been like, you know, how many years now, and we haven't seen the 3-point shooting really improve. The only way you see Noah Clowney really get like, you know, all those things that what this guy was saying in the video, be a star, is that every single player on the Nets floor, right, has to be able to shoot 40-something% from three, right? Like, it has to be Steph Curry type, Steph Curry-esque. Other than that, right, like, if you got poor 3-point shooting on the floor, you know, defenders can just drop, and it will cause a lot of spacing issues for Clowney. Yeah, man, I don't know. Clowney's the type of guy, right? Maybe he needs like another like superstar, you know, around him. One that can actually just grab so much attention. What's the word? Gravity, right? You know, off of Clowney, and it can make Clowney look better. But right now on this team with poor 3-point shooting, you know, it's not good, man. It's just not good. I don't see him making it to the second NBA contract because we haven't seen a lot of what he can actually do, right? Even if he becomes like a free agent, I mean, what value really does he actually bring to a franchise, man? That's the whole key. Value, 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 value. And right now, 210 pounds, power forward, center, you know. And I blame a lot of these high schoolers because, like, they really kind of stunt these kids' growth. You know, I should say young adults. Because, like, even though they're, like, let's say 6'5", 6'6" in high school, you know, these high school coaches have put them at the center position rather than, like, putting them at, like you know, running plays for them. You know, they don't really get used to handling the basketball, you know, get that comfort right, like that, holding the ball like that, like passing the ball, making plays. So yeah, I blame a lot of these high schools, man. You know, so I will wrap this video up. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. Certainly share this video, and when you share, the universe certainly shares back with you. Peace.